Did y'all watch 90 Day Fiance? Because this week's episode was who we love this week. Definitely Asuelu. Definitely Colt. My boy Colt was just everything this week. Fernanda, girl, yes. And maybe Steven, I still don't know because TLC has shown us some pretty crazy previews of my boy Steven, but I'm holding out hope, and for this week, he's on the Who We Love list. Who we hate this week list. Definitely Larissa. Lita girl, you, listen, she was on one this week. Ashley. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. And Kalani, shockingly, Kalani is on my hate list for this week. So that's who I loved and who I hated this week. Let's get into this recap. I'm gonna go ahead and start with our newest couple, Steven and Olga. So Steven is 23. He is a waiter, skateboarder, couch surfer. He doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. He has no plan. He has no dreams or aspirations, but he knows that he wants to marry Olga and raise their baby in the United States. Olga is a 21-year-old Russian who came to Ocean City, Maryland, where Steven is from, for a vacation one summer. She was living her best life. She wasn't going back and forth with nobody. And she met Steven, and he called himself a player, and he thinks that he's the cat's pajamas apparently. And they met, and all of that stopped. He said that it was like he was just drawn to her. She was the prettiest girl on the beach, and they lived out this whirlwind romance for the summer. But it turned out a week before it was time for her to go back home to Russia, Olga finds out that she's pregnant. Steven is sitting there telling the story about how, oh, you know, it only took one time and we weren't planning to get pregnant. And this is what I don't get. In 2018, I don't understand how people are still accidentally getting pregnant. Like, I get it if you're in a committed relationship with somebody, you're comfortable, you're relaxed, you're chilling, baby pops up. I get that. But you just meet somebody for the summer, like for a month and a half, we dated, and I'm not using anything. I'm not on any type of birth control, and we're not using any type of protection. What do you expect to happen? You guys are 23 and 21 years old. You are well, good, and grown enough to know how babies are made. So I don't understand how this baby just oops up. I really don't. And y'all probably gonna jump in the comments and be like, well, no, ain't no well. They're both grown enough. She was grown enough to take her behind somewhere and get something, and he was grown enough to take his behind somewhere and get something. These two kids do not need a baby. Now, I will commend Steven because he seems like he's trying to do the right thing. He had a conversation with his grandmother, who is pretty much the only steady person in his life. His mom kicked him out when he was 16. He has lived a life of petty crime. He said graffiti. He looks like he probably got caught with some weed or something too. He's been arrested a few times. He probably stole something from the store. He seems like one of those type of just, petty crime type people. His grandma is the only one who has really been stable. He goes and stays with her. He stays with friends. But he's having a conversation with her, and he's talking about how he really just wants to be a good guy and the good dad that he had. And his dad passed away when he was 7, and he really wants to do all the things with his son that his dad didn't get to do with him. And this scene was really endearing. I thought it was really sweet that he was planning to name the baby after his dad. It was just all really sweet, and that is why Steven is on the People Who We Love this week, because just for this week, I know the previews showed a whole other side, and we'll get to that when it comes, but for this episode, Steven is definitely on the People We Love list because he's trying his best. He wants to be a good dad. He has, aspirations to raise his kid and do all the things with his son that his dad didn't get to do with him. He's talking to his grandma. Now, they both seem a little dense. They're both a little slow. He doesn't know how to put on a condom, clearly. And he also had no idea about the tensions between Russia and the United States. And I still don't understand how he didn't know this. Like, is it because he's just bouncing from home to home and he doesn't really watch TV? He doesn't see, like, you hear the news, on the radio, in the car, just, it's everywhere. I don't know how he missed this, but he missed it. And so they're having an issue with Olga's visa because she's from Russia, and people coming in from Russia is just problems right now. So because of this, they haven't heard anything back. So Steven is flying to Russia for the birth of the baby because Olga could not get here in time. He seems like he's nervous. He seems like he's excited. It's his first time on a plane. It's his first time leaving, going anywhere. You know, he seems like a genuine kid. He's a little wet behind the ears. He's a little bit slow. You know, he doesn't really know what life is about. He needs help. He needs somebody to raise him and teach him, and his dad is gone. Poor kid. I kind of feel sorry for him, but he seems like he's trying his best and he's doing the right thing right now. I don't necessarily agree that when you get somebody pregnant, you should automatically marry them, because I don't think marriage fixes pregnancies, but I can see his intention and he's trying to do the honorable thing. He's trying to do the thing that he feels is going to be best for his son's life. And I totally commend him for that. Bravo, Steven. There was one scene where he FaceTimed Olga. Olga is a really cute girl. She seems sweet, but you know, the FaceTime, we really didn't get to meet her. She really wasn't saying much more than a couple words that they showed. It was very heavily edited, so I don't know what she was saying, but she seems cute. She seems sweet. She got her little baby bump. They seem like a decent couple. Now, what Steven's gonna do in the coming episodes, I don't know. But as of tonight, Steven is on my people who we love list. Good luck to Steven and Olga. That's it for our new couple. Let's move on to the next. Okay, so next is Kalani and Asuelu. So this episode, it was Kalani's 30th birthday. And she comes down the stairs, she's holding little baby Oliver, and he's just sleeping away. And her mom has a little cake for her and sings happy birthday to her. And it's real cute. So it just so happens that her 30th birthday is the same day that Asuelu is coming from Samoa, and she's going to pick him up from the airport. So she gets to the airport and she's waiting outside the baggage claim, waiting. And Asuelu, we see him kind of in the distance pushing his luggage cart, and finally we get to meet Asuelu. And I'm gonna give you my first impressions. Please don't hate me. Now let me just start by saying Asuelu is on the people we love list for this week, because Asuelu seems genuinely sweet. He seems like a good guy. He seems like he really loves Kalani and he just really likes her a lot. He seems eager to start being a dad and raise his son, and he I think he feels remorseful for the fact that he couldn't be there for the birth and the baby's first like 8 or 9 months of life. I really feel like his intentions are good. I don't think that he's a scammer. I don't think that he got with Kalani to come to America. He may have, but I really feel like he just met a girl he liked, they got pregnant, and now he's just making the best of it. With that being said, let me give you my first impressions of Asuelu. And y'all gonna wanna cut me because I call everybody slow. And I don't mean to like just put a slow blanket on just everybody who's quirky, because I get it. I know quirky people. I have quirky friends. And so I get it. But Asuelu is slow, y'all. That man, and it's not just the language barrier, because I can tell that English is his second language, of course. He struggles with English, and that's a totally different scenario, because so does Fernanda. Fernanda speaks very broken English. She sometimes mixes up tenses, verb tenses. She says things wrong, but we know what she's saying. Fernanda does not have a slow mental or slow appearance, even though her English is not that good. So let's throw out the, oh, he doesn't speak English well, that doesn't make him slow. No, it's past that. So beyond him not speaking English very well, Asuelu, on first impression, when Kalani was waving at him saying, hey, I'm over here, he literally was like, hello, Kalani. I was like, oh, is he okay? He seemed very childlike. And you know who he reminded me of? He reminded me of Forrest Gump. That was my initial reaction. Forrest Gump is, first of all, one of my favorite movies. All-time classic. Forrest Gump is one of the most genuinely nice people that you will ever meet. If you've ever seen that movie, if you haven't, you need to watch it like right now. Pause me and go watch Forrest Gump. It's an amazing movie. But he is literally one of the most genuinely nice, pure-hearted, just beautiful souls. And that's why I love the movie. But I don't know if he didn't get enough nutrients as a baby. He was dropped. Something's wrong with Asuelu. Asuelu's a little bit slow, and it's past a language barrier or culture barrier to me. Just to me. Now, you might just see it as a cultural thing. He almost seemed like a 10-year-old. The whole airport performance, I saw a lot of people on Twitter were saying that Kalani was ashamed of him because of the dad instilling the whole hating your people or hating your culture. I don't necessarily think that that's it. I would have been embarrassed by that myself. I know it's his culture. I know that she should know who she's marrying and that he's from, you know, this little Samoan village and he is proud of his heritage. And that is beautiful and that is amazing. What I don't need my fiance to do is to start stripping in the middle of the airport, putting on a loincloth and then doing a loud dance that draws attention to us. You know where that would have been perfect at? At the house, at the party that they had for her at the dinner with the whole family. That would have been a beautiful time to do that, Asuelu. Not in the airport. No. I'm with Kalani on that. She was mortified. Her face, she looked like she was so embarrassed. And I was embarrassed. I was cringing. TLC tweeted and said it lasted 5 minutes. That's ridiculous. I don't think that was her necessarily being ashamed of his culture or being ashamed of. That was just embarrassing. That was a lot for an airport. He's all on the floor. It was a lot. It was a lot for the first 2 minutes of us meeting. I know it was her birthday. I know it's his culture. I get that, y'all. I promise I get it. But if I was dating an African man and he busted out his loincloth and started, you know, doing the African dance beating drums in the middle of the airport, I would have been embarrassed. And that's my heritage. That's my culture. I'm just being real. Now, if he had done that at the house, the backyard barbecue that they had at the house for a performance for the family, beautiful, amazing. I would not be in the least bit embarrassed. But I was with Kalani there. Nevertheless, Kalani is still, even though I was with her then, she is still on the people that we hate list for this week. And I will tell you why. We're bringing Kalani on the carpet right now. Kalani was being a snooty LA, I'm better than you. I'm American. You need to get in my culture. You need to snap quickly and become Americanized because you're acting like you're from this little village is annoying me. She was being a bitch this episode, and I was not here for her attitude. I was not here for the way she was treating Asuelu. She was acting so uppity and snooty. And I'm like, girl, this man literally came from a place where he said the house had no walls. He had rock floors and poles and a roof, and that was their house. And she's just treating him like, just come on, do this. Oh, come on. Like, girl, I did not like Kalani's attitude at all this episode, and I did not like the way she talked to nor treated her fiance, because he was just really being sweet. And I felt like she was being real uppity and bougie for no reason. So they get to the Airbnb that Kalani's bougie behind couldn't even pay for because she probably don't make no money. I'm sure her dad is paying for that, but she want to act like she got something. So they get up to the Airbnb and Kalani's mom is there keeping Oliver, and they get in, and you know, Asuelu is just mesmerized by everything. He's mesmerized by the fact that there's no key, that there's a code to get in. He's just, everything is new. LA is huge, and LA is a big city to come to. So I probably would be culture shocked going to LA, and I'm not from Samoa. They get there, they say Oliver's sleeping. So they come in, they bring their bags in. And then they go upstairs so that Asuelu could meet his son. And well, he's met him, but you know, see him for the first time in several months. And you know, they wake him up and he picks him up, and first thing, Oliver's kind of unsure. He don't know what's going on. And then as soon as it registers what's going on, Oliver starts getting fussy. And I'm like, well, he just woke up. I mean, come on now. He just woke up from a nap. And then you put him in this man's arms. He don't know. He's going to be fussy. He's probably hungry. He's not feeling right. My energy is off. I need to wake up gently. Y'all to woke me up, put me in this man's arms. I don't know what's going on. So he was being fussy. Kalani's trying to, you know, console him. He's trying to bond with his son. Asuelu was doing a good job. You could tell he was real awkward. The mom even said that he was awkward. And then the mom in her interview said something that just really rubbed me the wrong way. She said that Asuelu has not provided for his son. So she's hoping that, you know, with him being here now, I'm like, provided? Did y'all not hear this man say that his house was poles and rocks and a roof? No walls? He feeds the pigs and cracks open coconuts? What exactly type of provision did you think he was going to be able to provide? You know what? And I don't like this whole blaming Asuelu for not being there. Kalani went down there, went back, got pregnant by a man who lives in a jungle hut, and now has come back and wants to make it seem like he's not providing for his son. Well, how about you pick a man who can provide for him? Like, the fact that you go out and pick a man who lives in less fortunate type scenario does not give you the right to talk about him or talk down on him because he hasn't provided. He didn't have the means. I don't like Kalani's family. You know what? Matter of fact, put Kalani's whole family on the people we hate list, because all of them getting on my nerves. I know by next week that I'm going to be ready to throw them all out the window. Asuelu seems sweet. He seems like he's trying his best. He seems like he wants to be a good dad. I pray to God that Kalani's family just gives him the chance to do that. But that's it for these two. Kalani is still on the people we hate list for this week. Let's move on to the next couple. It's Ashley and Jay. So Ashley is touched down in Jamaica. She showed up so that Jay can do his final interview to see if he's going to get his visa or not. So when Ashley gets there, Jay picks her up at the airport. They're really happy to see each other. They hug and kiss. They get in the car, and Jay tells her that he got a hotel room for them, and she's like, oh, hotel? And he's like, yeah, I got big plans in store for her. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, the sexual innuendos begin already. Ashley that, you know, he has things planned for her, and Ashley starts blushing like a little schoolgirl. Gosh, these two. I put Ashley on the people that we hate list this week for this very reason. So they begin to discuss, you know, their sex life and how difficult it is for someone who's 20 to be abstinent with his sex drive. And Ashley says that she has to do everything that she can to satisfy him, keep him pleased. Basically, she didn't say this, but I'm adding, so he won't cheat on her. And my thing is, you can do everything 20 ways till Sunday, and that will not stop a man from cheating on you. Ashley is going to wear herself out trying to keep up with this 20-year-old man. She has even gone to the lengths of having sex with him 3 times a day to appease his appetite. And that to me is outrageous. That's outrageous. How? Like, how? I mean, in Jamaica? Yeah. Okay, maybe you're on vacation, you're not doing anything all day. That even on vacation is a lot. My thing is, if it's 3 times a day, it's not lasting very long. I mean, is it 5 or 6 minutes 3 times a day? Because no. Ashley, first of all, is 31 years old. She has 2 kids. When she gets back to Pennsylvania, 3 times a day is going to go out the window real fast, honey. When you get off work and your feet hurt and you tired and you got to feed your kids and this man is in your house and he has not worked or cleaned up or brought any money home, you think you're going to be wanting to give it to him 3 times a day? I think not. My thing with Ashley, and the reason why she's on my people that I hate list this week, is because she is a yes girl. She is just doing whatever she feels that Jay wants so that he won't cheat on her and so that he'll stay with her. Oh, I'm so freaky. I'm fun. Look at me. I'm 31, but I still got it. And we can have sex as much as you want and I can still do it. I can have sex 3 times a day and bring the bacon home and take care of the kids and clean. I can do it all, baby. I got all your needs right here. You don't have to go anywhere else, because when you want it, I'm going to be here ready to give it to you. And I'm like, girl, how long do you think you're going to be able to do this? Like, you don't need to appease him by having sex with him all the time, even when you don't necessarily want it. I mean, that to me, I feel like she's not being her authentic self. I really don't. I don't think that she wants this. She's doing this because Jay wants this. And I know that in relationships, you have to be selfless and you have to compromise on things. So you have to do things that sometimes you don't want to do that your partner wants to do. And I get that. But having sex 3 times a day is above and beyond. That's like outside the scope of normality to me. And y'all already know that I said last week that I think Jay was sexually abused when he was a child. And I think that it did something to him. And I think he's a sex addict. Because anybody who has to have sex 3 times a day in order to not go out and cheat on you, something's wrong there. Yeah, if he's not mature enough to not cheat on you without you having sex with him 3 times a day, you don't need to be with him. And that's just it. Ashley needs to want more for herself. She needs to stand up for herself and feel confident that sometimes she can tell him, you know what, babe, I'm tired. I want to go to bed tonight, and not fear that he's going to cheat on her because she turned him down one night just because she wanted to get some sleep. And I feel like she's going to wear her cooch out for her relationship, and then he's still going to end up cheating on her. She's going to do all these backflips. She's going to be like Mimi hanging from the shower rod, thinking, I have to spill my tea, thinking that all of this is going to keep him at home and keep him from cheating, and it's not. And I feel sorry for her. So she needs to get it together because she did not look cute. She looked stupid to me on TV, giggling and saying, oh, we have sex 3 times. I have sex 3 times a day. Girl, you don't want to do that. Stop. Ashley, y'all think Ashley want to have sex 3 times a day? No, she's just doing it because Jay wants to, and she's scared he gonna cheat on her if she don't. So she lay her behind down. And good. You think he's catering to her needs 3 times a day in bed? No. I doubt it. He's probably catering to himself 3 times a day. Ashley, girl, to come off this list, I'm going to need you to get a backbone and start making some demands in a relationship. Telling some things that you want to do and tell the truth. Don't be a yes girl. Don't just say yeah to anything just because this man wants you and you scared you're going to lose him. Be your authentic self. And I don't think Ashley is this authentically sexual. I think she's doing this to please Jay. It's a front. And I don't believe it for a second. Basically it for Ashley and Jay. She is still on the people we hate list this week, and until she gets a backbone and stops being a yes girl, she's gonna stay there. But that's it for them. Let's move on to the next couple. So next is Johnathan and Fernanda. So this week Fernanda was on my people who we love list because I was here for all things Fernanda. The first right where they left off last week, the morning after Pantygate, Johnathan is out getting coffee for them. Fernanda's at home sitting on her phone looking pissed off, texting somebody, probably her best friend, telling her, girl, this man got me effed up. That a mocha frappa latte is going to fix the fight, and he thinks a little conversation is going to make it all better. So they get there, they talk it out. She basically tells him that, you know, I'm not going to stand for this. You're not going to have me coming up in here with you acting any old kind of way, and I'm not going to have it. And I was here for it. And I was like, yes, girl, stand up for your rights. She says in her interview that she demands respect and trust. And I was like, you know what? I think I see why Johnathan got this young girl, why he went for a young girl. Number one, he's immature. So getting a girl who's younger fits his mental state. Number two, I think he thought getting a young girl would be easy. I think he thought it would be easy to get over on her, to sneak around, to do things, to, you know how men just, I don't want to lump all men, but I think that he thought it would be easy to run game, to play games with a younger girl, because younger girls sometimes, we don't speak up for ourselves when we're young. We haven't learned. Fernanda is not here for that. She is giving him the business, and I love it. So good girl, don't let up, don't get your foot off his neck. Don't you even let up an inch. You stay on him and you make him give you what you think you deserve. They make up, they kiss, he says that the panties were some old girlfriend's, whatever. She gets over it because she's like, I'm here for him, I already moved. Let's try to make it work. So getting ready to go meet all of his friends at the plantation, at his friend's house. And Fernanda is slaying her face, honey, beat down. Yes, Fernanda. Listen, Fernanda looked flawless that night getting ready. She had the off-the-shoulder top, the skinny jeans, the heels. Her face was beat. Her hair was on point. She looked gorgeous. She said, when your friends meet me, baby, they're gonna meet me, honey. She was looking fabulous. Fernanda gave me all kinds of life this episode. That's why she is on my people I love list, because I was just in love this week. And all the friends are really friendly. They're really country, and y'all know I'm from the South, and I know some people talk about my accent, but that was an accent right there. I don't know where they found these folks, because Johnathan doesn't have a Southern accent like that. So I don't know where these people are from, what part of North Carolina. Honey, that accent was something serious. And so, and they're going around introducing, and his friends think it's wild that, he's engaged to some girl from Mexico. Just wild. And all laid out, and honey, that dinner, Lord have mercy, poor Fernanda. She's probably like, what empanadas? They cooked her, or they tried to cook her a traditional Southern meal. They made fried chicken. I'm pretty sure it wasn't seasoned. They made cornbread that looked like pancakes. I've never seen cornbread like that, y'all. I've lived in the South my entire life. I'm telling you, those of you who are from other countries who are watching me right now, or who are from up north and have never eaten cornbread, that was not cornbread. Okay, I don't know what those were. I don't know what those were. It's like they took cornbread batter and then they poured it in a griddle, in a circle, and like flipped it like a pancake, like a silver dollar pancake. I don't know what those were. That wasn't cornbread. Okay, cornbread gets cooked on a tray and it goes in the oven and you cut it into squares. Or you make cornbread muffins in the muffin tin. That's it. No cornbread pancakes, y'all. That was not cornbread. Okay, I don't know what that was. I'm vouching for you. Wasn't cornbread. And of course, you know, they're like, oh, Fernanda's getting ready to eat. And you know what? Let me just reenact this scene for you because I just can't tell it. I have to show it. It just won't do it justice.
Welcome. What you coming here? Sit down. Come on. You want some chicken? Go ahead and try some, girl. No, you don't need no knife and fork. Just go ahead and eat it with your hands. It's good. Yeah, use your hands, girl. Yeah, use your hands. Yeah, man. Yes, go ahead and use your hands. It's delicious. How was y'all's first night here? It was all right. It wasn't that great because bed to sleep in. Yeah, we didn't have a bed. So it was. Y'all have no bed. Y'all didn't have no bed. Johnathan, you didn't give this girl a bed. Y'all didn't have no pillows, no comforter. Y'all didn't have nothing to sleep on. No, we don't have a bed yet. You know, we're working on that. Well, I'll be darn tootin'. Johnathan, get this girl a bed. Well, you know, we didn't think Johnathan was gonna get married, so we just thrilled that you're here. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you. You know, a lot of people in America, you know, they wish that you wouldn't come here, you know, and it's a lot of tensions between y'all's country and our country, you know, the wall and all that and such. But, you know, everybody ain't like that, but, you know, most people think that you shouldn't be here, you know, but, you know, that's just the way of the world today. But, you know, welcome, and hope you enjoyed the chicken. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I mean, there's a lot of animosity between my country and your country, and, yeah, it's just, you know, the wall and all that's just, you know, really bad, but... Yeah, you know, there's a lot of crime in your country, you know, a lot of people, you know, you ever watch Narcos? I love watching Narcos, you know, all the cocaine and the shooting and the killing and the crime and the rape that y'all people do down there in Mexico. Yeah, that's, you know, y'all all do that, so, you know, a lot of people up here don't want y'all to come up here because we watch Narcos, and that's what we think y'all do down there. Thanks, guys, this was just a lovely dinner. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah.
That dinner could not have been more of an awkward disaster. Once again, Fernanda gets the gold medal for the night because she held her own. She did not let them push her around. She was still respectful to them. She found a way to put them in their place in a nice way. But they were just saying some really crazy stuff. But, you know, Fernanda, just gold star for her for that whole episode. She did a great job with his hillbilly hick friends. I mean, girl, yes. I mean, they said, and you could tell they had good intentions, but they just said some things that just did not sound well. It didn't sound very nice. I wish they had just kept their mouth closed a little bit. I wish they had made a tamale or something that she eats. But, you know, they're trying to welcome her into the North Carolina culture, and I get it. They could have kept politics and the wall and Trump and all that out of it, but, you know, whatever. It was what it was, and, you know, it ended up being a pretty nice dinner for the most part. Congratulations to Fernanda. She is definitely on the people we love list. She's probably at the top of that list for this week. But that was pretty much it for Johnathan and Fernanda, so let's move on to the next couple. Okay, so next is Eric and Leda. I'm not sure if it's Leda or Leda. Sometimes he says Leda, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, they're next. This week, Leda and her sister and her son have come to the United States. They meet at the airport. They're really happy to see each other. The sister stays behind with the son, who's 5 years old, Alessandro. He's adorable. He's a cute little kid. They hug and kiss, and Eric picks up Alessandro and puts him on his shoulders. It was really cute to me. It was kind of like, you know, you could tell Alessandro was a little nervous when Eric walked up to him, but as soon as he propped him up on his shoulders, you know, he seemed comfortable with him. Eric's already a dad, so I don't necessarily foresee really any issues necessarily with the kid. Eric doesn't make me nervous being around her son at all, even though they don't know each other, and I think it is always risky to bring your kids around people you don't know. But he seems to be doing a great job. He seems to be trying to do his best with the son, and he's a cute kid. They get to the car at the airport, and they're loading all the luggage, and of course Eric has his luggage because they're not staying in Wisconsin, they're staying in Pennsylvania because Leda's parents are coming to meet him and make sure that he has enough coin to take care of their daughter. So they have his luggage, Leda's luggage, and her sister's, plus whatever they packed for the son, and it's just a lot going on. Eric's trying to load up the back of this Chevy Tahoe that he rented, and it he's just packing stuff in at this point because he did not realize it was going to be so much luggage. Luckily, they have the long, the king cab. There's plenty of room, but it's still a lot of luggage, and he's packing it in. Leda comes back there for some reason. Instead of getting her behind in the car and making sure her son is buckled in the car seat, and is telling him he needs to pack the luggage in proper. What? I don't know what that means. I don't know what packing luggage in proper. I guess, I don't know if she's like OCD and meant like they all had to be facing the same direction, like they're in a row. I don't know what improper means, but apparently it is something that Eric must do. And Leda proceeds to throw a full-on 6-year-old temper tantrum. She is stomping her feet. She is whining. No, it has to go in proper. No, girl. I almost went outside and got a switch myself. And look, I grew up one of those Southern mamas that did not play. You did not stomp your feet and you did not throw temper tantrums. That was the quickest way to get your behind whooped in my household. So the minute she did that, I had like a full PTSD flashback, and I was like, oh girl, please don't do that. Eric is like reprimanding her like he's her dad. Like, no, don't you start that. No. I was like, is this a couple or is this a dad with his daughter, like trying to stop her from throwing a temper tantrum? Leda, of course, as I said in the beginning, she is on the people that we hate list this week, and this was the first reason why she went on there. She seems like she is a spoiled brat, and I don't know if Eric is ready for Hurricane Leda. Finally, Leda goes and just gets in the car and sits down. Eric packs the rest of the luggage in. They pull off. They're seeing all the sights. Leda and her sister are taking pictures and videos, and they seem like they're enjoying it. They want to see, of course, all the luxuriousness of New York. They want to see Trump Tower. They want to see everything that's associated with money. Of course, Eric breezes right through New York, and they head right on to Pennsylvania. And Leda is not too excited about being in Pennsylvania. She wants to know why they didn't stay in New York. Eric says it's because, oh, it's quiet and, it's calmer in Pennsylvania. Eric, we all know why you're staying in Pennsylvania, because the cost of the Airbnbs were much cheaper than staying in New York, honey. We already know it's about that coin. Anybody who has to split an apartment with their daughter and split all the bills cannot, afford an Airbnb in New York City. He told her that, but then in his confessional, he told the truth, which was it's cheaper. And of course, I knew that from the moment that he said they were going to Pennsylvania. So they get to their cabin, and, Leda is not impressed. She wants to know why there's only 2 bedrooms. She's underwhelmed about the size of the kids. And just everything was just underwhelming to her because she came from her mansion. And she seemed less than impressed and just ungrateful to me. Like, girl, you have a roof over your head. You have somewhere to stay. Let's be thankful that this man took care of the accommodations for you and your sister and your son to stay in Pennsylvania while they wait for your parents to come visit. Like, how about a thank you, Leda? Like, no gratefulness, just spoiled bratty, just I'm too good for this, turning up your nose at everything. I can't stand people who have attitudes like that, and that's reason number 2 why she's on the people we hate for this week. Next morning, Eric is up cooking breakfast. He wants to cook them an American breakfast, eggs, bacon, toast. He's making burritos. Leda comes downstairs and she wants to know why Eric is whipping up the eggs in the kitchen and not the maid. And then she remembers they don't have a maid, and she is upset because they don't have a maid or a nanny. Or it's just also superficial. And girl, like, I don't feel like Eric was totally upfront with her about his money situation, so I think she's expecting a little more from him than he can provide, which is his fault. He should have been upfront with her about his money situation, but at the same time, she's clearly a gold digger. And it almost makes me wonder if, I know a lot of people are doubting if she actually does have all this money. I think that it's really like a 70% chance that she might actually have all the money that she's claiming to have. I almost feel like she doesn't, just because she talks about it too much. She talks about her maids and how they cooked breakfast and, how they took care of her son and they did all this. She's just bragging all the time. And I always say people who brag about something all the time are probably not whatever they're bragging about, because they feel the need to constantly prove to everybody, don't you believe me when I say I had maids? Don't you believe me when I say I had drivers? You don't believe me? Let me tell you again. It's like, nobody's saying you didn't. Why do you have to keep saying it? It's because it's not true and you're trying to convince us. So, there is a chance that she actually could be a rich girl and she just likes talking about it. or she could be just making it all up and she's really just trying to convince us. I really can't tell, honestly. I'm gonna have to see what happens when they meet her parents. I'll know then. Because if her parents look kind of broke down, wore down, tired, then I'm gonna know she's probably lying. But if her parents look, you know, bougie and like they got money, then she might be telling the truth. I honestly don't know. I just know I don't like her attitude. I don't like anything she did in this episode. Her sister, straight up in her confessional, said that Leda is awful. She said that she gets mad and turns into an awful person, that she is annoying, and she doesn't know if Eric knows that she's like this. Clearly, when they're at the dinner table having a conversation about how she picks fights with him, and so I think Eric has an inkling of that Leda is spoiled and she's a brat, and she will throw a temper tantrum as a full-grown 29-year-old woman will throw a temper tantrum, a hissy fit, to get what she wants. And I don't know if he has the patience for it. He already got them bags under his eyes. He is a 62 oldest looking 40-year-old I have ever seen in my life. And he already, like, he tired, and he don't need no woman coming in there throwing hissy fits. He needs somebody to calm, that's quiet and calm, gonna bring peace to his life. Eric looked like he done lived a hard 40 years. I don't know if he's 40 actually, but if he is, he does not need these problems at this age. He needs peace. He needs quiet. He needs someone who can help him pay these bills and clean up this apartment and can just do it silently and sweetly and just love on him. He does not need Leda. He does not need these problems. Poor Eric. Oh, poor his daughters. Just poor, oh, God bless them, because this girl is a mess. I mean, she clearly, you know, has been spoiled. Her sister says that she's not going to take care of her son. She's never had to. Leda wants everything handed to her with a gold platter and a silver spoon, and she is not going to be with it when she finally sees Eric's apartment. I cannot wait until she sees it, but she's still on the hate list for now. So that was it for Eric and Leda. So let's move on to the last couple. Okay, so last is my boy Colt and Larissa. Now, I put Colt on the people that we love this week because, and I know I'm probably the only person who does not feel like Colt is a serial killer. I feel like he's just an awkward computer nerd. I don't think Colt ain't gonna hurt nobody. Did you see how he was playing with his cat? Nobody who puts dresses on a cat is gonna murder somebody. Now, is he weird? Yes. Is he awkward? Yes. Does he possibly have a romantic relationship with his mother? Yes. Colt's mom picks him up from work in the beginning of this episode, and Colt and his man hips and his man boobs walk out of the Best Buy that he works in. I don't know where he works. I just made that up. Skips out to the car and is so happy to see mom. They only have one car. So of course she has to pick him up from work. I don't know why I don't think his mom works, so I don't know why he just doesn't drive the car to work and then drive back. He can drive, so I don't know why mom has to drop him off. I guess she has things to do during the day. I don't know why a grown man does not have his own vehicle, but that's besides the point. They're talking in the car about Larissa's coming the next day and how much their life is going to change when she comes. Mother Colt is talking as if, you know, she's a little nervous, she's a little worried that, you know, because their life is about to change, it's a big deal, and she's saying that she's going to try to give them their space. She's lying. I don't believe her for a second. With those M&M golden arches eyebrows, no ma'am, she's lying. So then she makes him a nice supper at 5:30 p.m. sharp, and they sit down and they discuss further their life together with Larissa. And this conversation really made me cringe, because they literally sounded like a polygamous couple that was about to add a new wife to the family. They were talking about how their relationship was going to change and the dynamic in the household was going to change. And Colt was saying, oh, as long as we communicate with each other, everything will be... Communicate? That's relationship talk. Like, what you need? No, like, what are you and your mom? Are you and your mom communicating about what's going on with you? Like, no, that sounds like relationship talk. And it made me like, I wanted to sink into my sofa and disappear. It really was a cringe-worthy moment, because they literally sounded like a couple when they were talking. You know, she was saying that, you know, when it's y'all's time to be together, if the door's closed, I won't bother you. She was like, well, if my door's closed, don't bother me. I might have somebody over too. I'm a Colt. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody, baby girl, okay? We all know that your son is your man, and you don't have no other man. Okay, don't stop. Let's stop that. Like, let's stop it right now. We're not going to pretend as if you have another man. You know you're faithful to your son. They're just discussing how Larissa is definitely going to change the whole dynamic of their relationship. And I'm like, is this a relationship? But honey, what they do in the business of their own home, that's them. Next day, Colt is checking Larissa's flight with Cookie on the bed, and Cookie is looking at the flight like, where is this trick at? Is she here yet? He heads over to the airport to go pick up Larissa. He tells mom goodbye. This was the moment I knew he could drive, because he went to pick up Larissa by himself. So he gets in the car. He drives to the airport. He's waiting outside the baggage claim, waiting. Honey, waiting. I don't know if anybody else was in the airport. There was no luggage on the baggage claim. There was not a single soul else in that airport. Finally, Larissa comes out, runway ready, honey. Full stiletto heels, tight leather skirt, tight shirt, like just done up. She was ready for her arrival. They had an awkward hug. In his past interviews, he has said that he couldn't wait to hug and kiss her and be with her. And I'm like, I don't think that Colt and Larissa have ever done anything sexual. I know they showed like some pictures of them when they met in Mexico, I think, when they first met, and they were kind of hugged up. But the way that they greeted each other, every other person who had a meet and greet this episode in the airport either ran, hugged and kissed, so happy to see you, oh baby, I love you so much. Like it was like a romantic meeting, like hug, kiss. Oh my gosh, this was the most awkward airport pickup I've ever. He was her Uber driver. Like, he may as well have been her Uber driver. It was like an awkward hug. They didn't kiss. The first words out of Larissa's mouth were, where are my flowers? This girl is, I think she might be worse than Anfisa. I think she might be worse. Any flowers, you know, they come out and there's a flower like vending machine. I've never seen this before in my life, but there's a $20 flower vending machine. She says, here's the flowers right here. Let's go ahead. You gonna give me some? And Colt's like, no, I'm not getting you flowers, because I had to pay for parking. Like, this is why Colt is on my people I love list for this week. And a lot of people were calling him a jerk, saying he was being mean. I didn't necessarily see it as being a jerk. I saw it as, you're not about to take advantage of me. Like, Colt has this plan set. I feel like Colt is probably frugal to a fault. Yes, I'm not gonna deny that. Colt is a cheapskate, clearly. Him and his mama are sharing this old beat up car. He's living in her house with her. He's penny pinching. He done pinched the nickel so hard the buffalo pooped. He is a penny pincher, a miser. Yes, I agree with that. But at the same time, he is not letting Larissa bully him around. Because remember when Anfisa would say stuff and George would go running? Oh, let me hurry up and do this. No, let me hurry up. Yeah. Colt is not no punk. And I appreciate that in a man. I appreciate a man who is going to be like, no, we're going to do this because of this. We're not going to spend money frivolously. I mean, yes, would it have been a nice gesture for him to buy her some flowers for her arrival? Sure. I mean, it would have been a beautiful thing to do. That would have been very sweet and romantic, but he didn't. And neither did anybody else in the episode. So I didn't understand why people were on Twitter and Facebook and was like, oh, Colt's a jerk. I can't believe he didn't get her some flowers. Eric didn't get Layla no flowers. Like, Jay didn't show up with flowers for Ashley. Nobody else on the episode got flowers. So I don't understand why Colt not getting Larissa flowers was a problem. He didn't promise her flowers and then not deliver. He came and picked her up from the airport. She expected something. She didn't ask for it. If she wanted flowers, she should have told him last time they FaceTime, you know, it would be really nice if you had some flowers for me when I get there. So you assume that he's going to do something for you and then you're mad when he doesn't do it. Like, that's not how this works. And Colt let her know that. And I appreciate that. Be living with his mama, sharing a car with his mama, computer nerd with hips and man boobs, but he is not a punk. And I appreciate that in a man. He let her know what it's going to be. He was like, look, you either get parking picked up or you get flowers. Which one you want? Like, I can't pay for both because I got bills to pay. He's a grown man with grown man responsibilities. And he doesn't have money to just be thrown away frivolously on little stuff like that. I mean, hey, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. She was still hung up on the flowers, even in their interview. He was saying he was happy that she was there. She was like, he should have brought me flowers. Girl, get in this car. Out the car, because there's no AC. In the car, and Larissa's like, oh my God, it is hot. And he's like, well, yeah, it's hot in Vegas. And he was like, well, there's no air conditioning in the car. And I'm like, there's no air in Vegas? It literally gets to like 110 in Vegas. I can't have it. I remember one summer my air in my car went out for like a couple weeks before I could get it fixed. And I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like, I don't know how they're driving around. In the previous scene, when his mom picked him up for work, they were riding in that car so peaceful and so happy. Neither one of them wiped their forehead or their upper lip from sweat. They were sitting there. You would have thought the air was on a cool 57 degrees, just blowing in their face, the way they were sitting in that car riding so peacefully and calmly and just having a conversation. If I don't have any air in the car and it's 100 and something degrees, there's no peaceful conversation. Don't talk to me because your breath is creating heat, okay? It's quiet. Don't speak, okay? Like, all the windows need to be down. Don't talk to me because I'm going to get pissed off. I have got to have some kind of sweat glands that I don't know about. I don't know how they're riding around with no air. So I was with Larissa on that. She said it was hot, hotter than Brazil. I'm sure it was hell hot in that car. Go see Vegas because she thinks it's going to be like a movie. She literally thinks America is a movie. She thinks she's on set of a movie. To the Las Vegas sign, which they're standing on this like dirty, dusty sidewalk next to this chain link fence and looking up at the Las Vegas sign. Like, that's underwhelming. He did not, like, take her to the Strip, take her to the Bellagio, the Mirage with the fountain, something beautiful. Like, why would you take her to the dusty Las Vegas sign? That'd be like taking her to Circus. Like, take her somewhere, the MGM Grand, something that looks luxurious. You don't have to go inside. Just drive her, but walk her by there. Let her take a picture outside front. Let her lean in front of the fountain or something. Do a photo shoot. Like, make her feel like it's expensive, even though y'all didn't do anything. You didn't spend any money. Choice of tourist locations. She said that this is a nightmare. These two have zero chemistry. There was not a romantic touch. The hug was awkward. I don't foresee these two doing anything sexual, having done anything sexual. I don't even see them kissing. She is strictly here for this green card, and she is about to turn Colt and Mama Colt and Cookie Dough and Sugar and baby girl's life upside down. She's already pissed. She's hot. She about to come in this house raging, and I'm here for it. For this week's episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter at NICHI_P_tweets for all my live tweets during the show as it airs in real time. Y'all, this past week Twitter was lit. The Twitter thread hashtag 90Day Fiance was lit. Everybody was coming with the facts and the hilarious tweets. If you're not a part of the Twitter 90 Day Fiance family, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, get a Twitter, jump in the thread, start tweeting with us, start reading the tweets. This week was like one of my favorites. There's always like a few people who just crack me up to no end. It's the best. It makes watching the show like 10,000 times better. And hit the subscribe button if you're one of those people who is checking for my videos every single day because you have no idea when I'm going to post them. If you hit the subscribe button right now, then you will get a notification every time I upload my videos, so you'll know when they're there. But liked anything that I said in this video, go ahead and hit the like or share with a friend who also loves 90 Day Fiance. And I'll see you next week in the recap. Bye. I'm spilling tea everywhere. Now I'm gonna be wet and cold. Great. Warm for about 20 seconds. I don't know if she means that she wants the luggage to be like all lined up.